how you doing, everybody? This is Molly Rulin reporting live from ShePodcast Live in Atlanta, Georgia. I am representing Heartcast Media, Podcast Outfitters, and a little sprinkle of One Love Massive today. I am sitting here with Andy Locke Mears. Did I get that right?
Locke Mears, 2 words.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And we are going to learn some more about Andy. Andy, tell us about yourself.
Well, first, it's wonderful to be here, and thank you so much for this opportunity to be interviewed.
Absolutely.
This is so much fun.
Yeah.
So I have a podcast. Well, I'm just starting it.
Okay.
But I've been teaching this for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And the name of the podcast is German New Medicine Made Easy.
Okay.
German New Medicine Made Easy. And the tagline is your one-stop shop for physical, emotional, and behavioral answers.
Well, sign me up.
Right?
I could use some of that action for sure.
We all could, truly.
So what is German New Medicine? Explain that to me.
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
Yes. So GNM, we call it GNM. It's the life work of a physician. And it's somebody who discovered the cause of all. It's a regularly trained physician from Germany, and he made an amazing discovery after he was diagnosed with cancer. He had a teenage son who was accidentally shot on vacation.
Oh, no.
And his son died in his arms 4 months later. I mean, for a physician, and for anyone, it's devastating.
Right.
But for a physician, I can't even imagine. So a short time after that, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
Oh, man.
And now this is a regularly, very traditionally trained German physician. There's not a woo-woo bone in his body.
Right.
All right. He's not going to mind, body, spirit.
Right.
Nothing.
No Reiki on his calendar.
No. So he got through the cancer okay, and he just decided to look at the brain as the cause of disease. Now, this was the 80s, and CT scans were just the up-and-coming toy for physicians. So he started to take CT scans of everyone in the cancer clinic at the University of Munich where he worked. They all had a circle in their brain, a lesion in their brain in different locations.
Interesting.
The plot thickened. So he had one as well. He's like, oh, what is this? This has to mean something.
Right.
So over a period of time, he was able to He talked with his patients. What's gone on in your life? He realized they'd all had some sort of trauma prior to their diagnosis.
Oh, my gosh.
They'd all had, he was able to pull it all together. So everyone with the same kind of trauma had this circle in the same area in the brain, and they all had the same cancer.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And it was 100% accurate. There was no exceptions to it, which is mind-blowing right there.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing. And so he knew he was on to something really big.
Yeah.
But of course, big doesn't make it in a politicized world of medicine, unfortunately.
Right.
So it's he passed 2 years ago, but he spent 35 years researching the brain. And he was able to map out the entire brain, so we now know the cause of every single disease out there, physical disease. He also extended his research to what we'd call mental illness and mood disorders, and also behavioral issues.
Right.
And he realized all of it. He figured it all out. The entire brain is mapped.
Wow. That's fascinating. So I have a lot of friends, who are in the Black community in particular, who are very focused on their physical health. And so, like, the first I ever learned about fasting or meditating or any of that, master cleanse and raw food, and just was all from the Black community. And I have a friend who was telling me about a doctor who studies people's iris.
Yep.
And can detect different diseases. So I would suspect that's kind of similar to this whole I don't know how accurate that all is, but it's just really interesting. It's we're showing the signs, right? If you look in the right place, you can see what's going on and where the issues are coming from, but it's knowing where to look, right?
Sort of, yes. I'm also an iridologist.
Oh my gosh.
So I get that, and
That's
I'm
crazy.
actually speaking in Orlando next week at a large iridology conference. And
look at that.
Teaching GNM to the iridologists there, and all the other, it's integrative holistic medicine as well. So yes. So what we see in iridology, in fact, what I'm doing for this conference next week is I'm combining iridology and German New Medicine, which I don't know has ever been done on this planet. I don't know. I have never seen it done. So it's been fascinating at researching the two. They both give us certainly our iris gives us very detailed information.
Right.
What we're born with, the structures in the eye that we're born with, and then what happens over time in our iris and the changes that occur.
Right.
That we can also see from a German new medicine perspective. GNM is the baseline of everything.
Right.
So we can see, Dr. Hammer could take your CT scan and tell you what was going on in your life when you were 20. Oh, you had a UTI when you were 20. Oh, that's been healed. Oh, looks like you had a very minor heart attack in your sleep when you were 40. He could see that. So when we blend the two together, I'm really excited by that, and I'm hoping that I'll find some iridologists next week who will say, yeah, let's explore this.
There's something there.
Because there's definitely a correlation.
So that's awesome. But I gotta ask, so like, what about what's your story, right? Because I know about this doctor now, I know about this medicine, but like, what inspired you to get into this field and do this podcast and elevate this message? What lit that fire in you?
That's a great question. Well, when I said to you German new medicine, you're like, huh? Oh, what is that?
Right.
And everyone at this conference that I've mentioned it to is like, what?
Right.
What is that? So it's much more, it's not mainstream anywhere, really.
Right.
However, it's much larger in Europe than it is here in the United States. I've been doing this for 10 years. I was trained in 2009. And I had a wellness center and immediately started using it and saw amazing, amazing things happen when people understood why they have the symptoms they have, what their natural progression is, and how they will naturally resolve if we can, support our body and get out of its way.
Yeah.
Basically. So I sold my center and decided to do this online full time. And so I developed 2 courses that I teach online throughout North America, but English-speaking world for sure. And so I've been at this for 10 years, and still no one has heard of this. So I'm like, how do I get the message out? Now I work with a lot of holistic practitioners because I'm like, that's a way that they can start using it and it can start spreading. It's all about empowerment.
Totally.
This is information, and I'm not saying don't ever go to your doctor. I'm never saying that.
Right.
I'm just saying this is information, so you know better what to do for your body than anyone, really.
100%.
There's times when surgery is the best thing to do.
Right.
There are times when doing an herb is the best thing to do.
So that really resonates with me because when I was 15 months old, I was diagnosed with a rare congenital birth defect. And they told my parents at Bethesda Naval that I wouldn't live more than 20 years, and I would grow very fast, and I would look like a 5-year-old by the time I was 2. But I wouldn't grow any further than that. So I was diagnosed with precocious puberty, but at 15 months.
Wow.
And so I had all the symptoms. I grew super fast. I looked like a 5-year-old by the time I was 2, but I didn't stop. I just kept growing. So I've been, this height since 4th grade.
Wow.
The voice, the everything, right? No one ever believed how old I was. We go to restaurants and they'd be like, kids under 9 eat free. And they'd be like, she's not 9. There's no way. But I was like 4. It was like, no, really, I can't even talk yet. Totally. Definitely not 9. And so, but I say all that to say that, I had a team of doctors, and I've had quite a few spinal surgeries since then because my bones didn't develop properly. They're super weak. I'm 23 years past my, expiration date, if you will.
Yes.
But it taught me, 2 things. A tremendous amount of empathy because I'm truly connected to everybody else on the planet, and there's no suffering that I have not been a part of and can relate to. And so I'm very grateful for that. I'm eternally grateful for it. But it also taught me, you shouldn't always listen to doctors, and you should listen to your own body.
Right.
And there are times when I have to have surgeries. I'm not denying that.
Absolutely.
But I don't need all your drugs, and I don't need those things because I'm 43 now. I've lived with this for a long time, and I'm not a doctor, but I do know sometimes what's best. And I don't want to be defined by anything because I'm not even supposed to be alive.
Right, exactly.
And a few years ago when I was having a bunch of surgeries, I called my childhood doctor, who's now the head of pediatrics at Bethesda Naval. Top position in the country probably. Dr. Marilee Poth, and I called her and I said, I don't know if you remember me. My name is Molly Rowland. And she said, Molly, I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I remember you. How tall are you? And she said to me, quite frankly, there's no medical explanation as to why you're alive.
Right. There is a GNM explanation, however.
I bet you there is. And so I have definitely leaned more towards finding other answers and understanding that things are greater than they seem, and the medical industry is gated and guardrailed by a lot of other moving parts, and insurance information and malpractice has definitely swayed a lot of the way medicine is practiced.
Right. And I really see this as German New Medicine is simply empowerment for people.
Yeah.
And so the reason I'm podcasting is simply to get the word out there more. Hoping I can reach more people. And they'll become empowered. Let's teach our children this.
Yeah.
They will have an entirely new perspective on their health for the rest of their lives.
100%.
Yes.
That's really exciting. Well, I really love, you have a great energy and spirit about you. It's been really nice chatting with you about
Thank
equipment
you.
and stuff. And I would love to continue to be a part of that journey. If there's anything I can do to help elevate your message and amplify your voice, please let me know. I would love to be a part of that.
Thank you so much, Molly.
Absolutely. Thank you again. And let's finish by telling everybody where they can find your content and how they can support your mission.
Sure, absolutely. My website is, I've got two, www.biohealthworksinstitute.com.
That's a good one. I like it.
biohealthworksinstitute.com, and also andylockemears.com.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, I will do my best to put those things in the notes so people can check it out.
Great.
But Andy, thank you so much. I know you want to catch some more panels and stuff, so thank you for your time.
Thank you for yours.
And I'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.